It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. And woo, we have a lot to talk about. There was so much going on last night. In last night's episode of The Real Housewives of New York. It was an absolute shit show, to say the least. Ramona definitely acted out, and I posted a poll for you guys. If you'd like to engage, you're more than welcome. I'm seeing so far that most of you are thinking that Ramona went way too far this time, and it was really mind-blowing to see. We've seen her do a lot of crazy stuff, but this kind of takes the cake. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. Also, I posted a link in the live chat because we did launch new merch. There's a woman, a graphic designer named Amy Morelli, and she commented on some of our previous merch, and she said, hey, I want to design something for you. And I said, okay, I'll give you a shout out. We'll post your site. And we ended up making it work. And she made it nice. So we have the I Made It Nice Halloween merch. If you guys want to, you're more than welcome to check it out. It comes in youth, women's, men's, pullovers, hoodies, tank tops, whatever. You guys get it. You guys are more than welcome to go support. Just click the link and it's also in the description of this video. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Kempire. Here we go. That was a lot.
You just reminded me that Halloween literally is right around the corner.
You know what reminded me? I went into TJ Maxx the other day, and all of a sudden I looked and it was Halloween stuff everywhere. And I was like, no, I need to get ahead of the curve because I missed it on Pride. So I'm not going to miss Halloween, even though I should have made it more important for Pride. But I'm a human.
It's hard to keep up with everything, especially with this sort of like holiday stuff. You have to be really like months in advance.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, one of the things that I have to say is, guys, if you know when Kempire comes on our channel, we always love to throw him under the bus. That's kind of our thing around here. So there's two things I need to address here. One is Kempire stole my damn hat. Okay.
Oh, shoot. That's only because I didn't get a chance to shave.
Okay. I'll give you that. And two, I was going through my subscriber list and Kempire is not subscribed.
You're lying. You are
no,
so
I'm
lying.
not. No, I'm not.
I'm literally looking at my YouTube. It says subscribe and the notification bell is on.
Okay, fine. I take it back. Okay.
Are you just trying to throw me under the bus for no reason?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out something I can throw you under the bus for. But guys,
that's hilarious though that you would think. How dare you?
I looked on there and it shows you in like uniform what subscribers you have, and it goes from like the most subscriber count that they have. And I was scrolling through and I was like, I don't see Kempire here. Is Kempire not? And I was like, I'm subscribed. Oh, hell no.
Do you also realize on my page you're featured on my actual channel as a featured channel?
I'm gonna shut up. I'll shut up now. All right. So as everyone's coming into the room, Kenzie, hi, Susie, Natalie, DGF, Cupcakes, Goddess, Ghostly Gamer. There's so many people in the room. Thank you guys for coming in. Kempire, shall we just kick this off?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So we see Leah in this episode, and we all know Kempire loves Leah. And she is preparing and learning Judaism. She's learning Hebrew, and she's trying to teach herself so she can, I don't want to mess this up. When they light the candles, what is this called?
You're asking me? I know I'm part Jewish, but I'm not that Jewish.
Oh, she did like she sang a song in Hebrew.
Yes, it's their traditional, for their Shabbat. It's their traditional ceremony. There you go.
Okay, their traditional ceremony. So I thought that she really did well with that. And when she was talking to Ebony, honestly, I felt like we didn't necessarily need this scene, but it goes, without. I guess this is production's way of showing that her converting to Judaism, that is a real storyline. So they had to give us little tidbits because we haven't heard anything about this for a while. So, okay, we see you.
Episode 1.
Yes, since episode 1. And now what is this, episode 13?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you took a big gap, Leah. Just saying. In this episode, we obviously know that Ebony K. Williams wanted to throw this Black Shabbat dinner. And her friend Archie, she's showing, throwing the dinner. The women completely acted out. I mean, there's really no other important storyline aside from this and Ramona hitting the real estate agent that's supposed to be teaching her, which I thought was an absolute shit show, and her shushing him.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah. First of all, I give Ramona credit because Ramona could easily retire and not have to work another day in her life. So the fact that she's trying something new, especially like real estate, of all people, how tough that business is, especially here in New York. I mean, look, I'm not going to be giving Ramona credit many other times, but I give it to her like to take on something else like that. Unless she's trying to get a new show.
Or unless she's trying to get a $1 million listing.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. And honestly, there are certain personalities that really make it in the real estate world. And I feel like she has that eccentric, like over the top, kind of like Frederick, like they're just all over the place, like here, there, everywhere. And I think that she would honestly kill it in real estate. And I also feel like this is kind of an indicator of she realizes this is season 13. I don't know how much longer I'll have on the show, maybe 3, 4, 5 more seasons, but eventually it'll come to an end. And when it does, that paycheck goes with it. And maybe I need to start getting into something new.
But you saw Andy denied any sort of shakeup rumors, even though he did it in a very politically correct way. He said, if anything, they would add more housewives as opposed to, he gave them the pandemic excuse that we've been giving all of the shows, right? And that they would add to it. So Ramona might at least have another season, especially if Dorinda comes back.
I think she has at least, I'm going to give her 3. I think she has 3 more seasons. Yeah, I really do. Only because, I think Andy and the production crew, I feel like they saw how much it affected the show by dropping Dorinda. And I really do think it affected the show. And honestly, last night when they announced that she was a guest and she walked out, I was like, oh my gosh, they're starting to gear us up and get us ready and excited about Dorinda again. I feel like 100% she will be coming back.
Oh yeah. They even called it a pause. So, normally it's a firation, but no, they called it a pause. So they definitely want Dorinda to come back. They know that fans want Dorinda to come back. Right.
And I thought Dorinda was quirky and funny and very polite in the way that when he asked her, what was the great thing about this past year or whatever it was, and, what was the worst thing? And she's like, well, not being invited back to the show. And he just kind of looked like, ugh. And maybe she needed that pause. But also, I think if she was going to miss a season, this is probably one of the seasons where it would have been good to miss. I feel like there was a lot going on and really not a lot going on at the same time. And also filming during a pandemic, going to Salem as your cast trip, it just wasn't that exciting. So I don't think she missed too much.
Don't you think they should host the reunion, the one that's been pushed back multiple times already at Berkshire's, since they're Airbnb it out?
If they did that, I would die. Only because what a slap in the face to Dorinda, especially after not inviting her back to this season. No, I would be like, hell no, you're not filming in my place. Just like when I was saying Mike shouldn't have let that woman go to the bathroom in his house. No. No.
But now they're on good terms. I mean, they've always been on good terms. I think now, especially because she's been on the show, it'd be a nice little segue. Dorinda's back. Let's host it at her. She can open the door and have everyone come in. She'll have a little segment like he wants to give Nicki Minaj on the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, again, Watch What Happens Live last night, you're right. He did kind of tease that if anything, we don't need to cut anybody. We need to add more personalities. But I don't fully agree with that. I feel like there's 1 or 2 in this cast that could go and do what you did with Orange County. You cut 3 housewives, you kept 3, and then you added 3 and a friend up. Do that.
So who would you cut? Who would be the 3 that you would cut, Adam? I'm going to ask you the questions.
I would probably cut LUANN.
Ooh.
Leah.
Ooh.
I want to give Ebony more of a chance.
You have to cut 3.
Well, they don't have 3 to cut. That would only leave 2. So I only have to cut 2.
Oh.
LUANN and Leah.
I will do what, because I love Ebony, but if I had to choose 3, I would choose, of course, I mean, I don't mind LUANN. I love the ingrained friendships that all of them have. But if I have to cut 3, it would have to be LUANN. It would have to be definitely Leah. You already know. I mean, Leah's at the top of my list.
Yeah, we all know.
And honestly, it would be between Ebony and Ramona. But honestly, like I like Ebony, but Ebony's not a housewife. I need more housewives on the show. I need us to stay a little bit more true to this whole perspective of these are actual housewives that are married.
Right. Well, I mean, but New York hasn't had a married housewife in how long?
And the ratings have been dropping for how long?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm looking at this. Yes, I agree. Cut LUANN. She's the Countess darling. Amy Odd. Ramona needs to go. Yes, LUANN is getting a bit stale and old news now.
But we need the Christmas music video. Come on now. We need the Christmas song and video.
And Sass K says Ramona and Ebony can go. And Sarah Burton, I couldn't agree more. BBB, bring back Bethany. Yes, I think we all agree with that.
I'm on the fence with bringing back Bethany because, and I'm just thinking as a business person, I just feel like it doesn't look good for her brand to come back after leaving already twice.
And she even explained too, though, she said, moving forward in the direction that I'm moving with my businesses and everything that I've been doing, I've landed a few amazing interviews that I don't necessarily think I would have gotten had I have continued on with RHONY. Because even though it gives you a platform, it's like when you're a reality TV star trying to break into the acting world. It's kind of hard to do that because you're looked at as this reality TV star. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and not an actual big business person that's doing well in your business. Now people are going to look at the Skinny Girl brand as, oh, you're reliant on this reality show. You don't really have a strong business. And I'm not saying that she doesn't, but that's going to be the appearance if she goes back to RHONY.
No, I agree with you. I don't see her ever coming back. However, again, I do see Dorinda. I really hope they don't give us Tinsley back. And guys, I want to ask you that too. Are you guys here for Tinsley coming back? Or do you think, no, we were done with her. We don't really need her back, but we wish her the best. And last night
not as a full time, maybe not as a full time, but we need that whole Dorinda mess cleaned up. Even though Dorinda says, you know, when the whole Scott thing went down, she reached out to Tinsley. She didn't say if Tinsley responded, but she did reach out. We need that to kind of clean up Dorinda's last season.
She also ended that off with an "I told you so." Just to be fair, she did end that off with an "I told you so." But for Tinsley, she was getting so stale to me. Like I didn't think, you know, she was bringing anything to the table anymore. I didn't care about her. Like when Bethany said, I didn't know socialites still exist. She just came off very like whiny.
Socialites do still exist here in New York.
Yeah, well.
And she was one of the original. Well, not originals, but she was definitely one of those people that you knew of as a socialite here in New York.
Well, Susie Gross is calling out your hypocrisy because you said you would want housewives back, and she's not a housewife.
Yeah, but we always have that one person that isn't a housewife, at least in New York. So I would be okay with Tinsley come back, even if it's just a friend of, not as a housewife. Speaking of friend ofs, I have to call Ebony out. You should have invited Bershaw on the show at the Black Spot after Leah wasn't able to make it.
Okay,
I kind of missed Bershaw for a little bit. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan, but I kind of missed her these last 2 episodes.
And I think that she would have been, I mean, the thing that Bershaw offers is she's very boisterous. She's loud. If the women get loud, she can get louder. And it was complete chaos at this Black Shabbat. Like it was, nobody could get a word in. Ebony's friends were sitting there like, I don't know what the hell's happening. Ramona's getting pissed off. She's screaming. She's like, wait a minute, but I just want to talk about the Italians in the Jewish community. And they're like, what are you talking about? And then she's like, I feel like I was neglected by the Jewish community when I first moved into New York because I was a Christian. She was doing anything that she could do to make it about herself. It was so blatantly obvious.
She's a narcissist.
She's a narcissist. Look at her face.
Oh man. But before we delve into Ramona, can we, I have to do my weekly bashing of Leah.
Oh no.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like, okay, Leah knew she was not going to be on this episode. She was like, oh, you got to bring me in on Zoom. And then she was so annoying during this dinner. Like, I can't hear. And I was like, shut up. Hang up, Ebony. Just hang up.
No, I have to agree with you because Jason and I were watching this episode. Again, guys, as you come in the room, go ahead, smash that like button. Jason and I were watching this episode and we both thought the same thing. We're like, this is absolutely annoying. First of all, I agree. I don't agree with Ramona a whole lot, but this is one of those moments where I do agree with her. I think it was, one, it's incredibly rude. You know, you're trying to make the whole dinner about this one person who couldn't make it to the dinner. So at that point, you're just excluded from the dinner. Why wasn't Bershawn on a FaceTime?
I know Bershawn could have made it. And poor Bershawn, she wasn't on last week's episode. She wasn't on this week's episode. So she's not getting paid. I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. And, you know, for this, like you're saying, it was annoying. They're trying to do a toast. Leah's like, I can't hear anybody. Can you move the phone? There's a candle in my face. I'm like,
she was so obnoxious and so obvious that she just wants to be on the show. That's why I know this is not going to be a popular opinion. Part of the reason why, remember when they were at Ramona's house in the Hamptons and everyone's like, why did you come if your grandmother's dying? She wanted to be on the show. She wants to be on every single episode. She wants to make sure she's on every single episode. If she wasn't at this Black Shabbat, she wouldn't have been on the episode. And I would have been okay with that.
And she should be okay with it too. She still gets paid. I don't think she gets paid episodically, does she? She does.
Yeah, they do. Because even Nene, even though Nene will deny it, if you're not on an episode, you're not getting paid.
Right, but Nene didn't mind. She was making $2.4 million on her last season. I think she was absolutely fine. She was good. I'm sure she misses that paycheck now too. But no, I thought it was rude. I thought that she did great when they did the candle lighting ceremony. But again, getting back to it, the whole dinner was about, you know, mixing these two communities. At least that's what Archie kind of made it seem like. You know, she said Jew Belong is her organization, which clever play on words. And LUANN looked at her and she's like, can I ask you a stupid question? Do you have to be Jewish to be a part of Jew Belong? And I would have wanted to ask that stupid question too. And Archie said it's not a stupid question, but I would, you know, you would kind of think because it says Jew Belong that it would be more of a Jewish community sort of situation within this organization, right?
I didn't think that, honestly. I as soon as she said it, I was like, oh, it sounds inclusive. That was hopefully the play on words, but I can see why people would probably mix that up.
Yeah, maybe I'm living in a box.
The box, your studio.
Yeah, I do live in this freaking box. Color and chat with Joanna. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Bring Nene to New York. No.
Oh.
No.
I wouldn't mind Nene back, but like I said multiple times, they're not going to. Nene really burned. Like when we talk about burning bridges, Nene burned that bridge. There's no way you're going to see Nene on Bravo for a while.
No, I don't think we'll ever see her again on Bravo. I think by everything that she said, and honestly, that may have been her truth. I don't know. I didn't see her contracts and how production treated her and how the network treated her, but whatever she went through, it's just one of those things. You don't want to tell somebody to be quiet about it, because if they want to talk about it and they want to put it out there so it doesn't happen to other people, we have to understand that. But at the same time, she really went above and beyond to make it known how she feels about the network and about them how she feels about them trying to push her out for so long. And it was intense.
No, I mean, she was great TV, and I think it's unfortunate, but it doesn't mean that she can't go on and do other things on another network.
I believe she's filming for some show right now. It's not a reality show. She's filming for, is it a movie or a TV show? Do you know?
I have no idea. I try to keep up with Nene, but
she's filming something. And also, could you imagine Nene trying to say something and Ramona being like, shh, I'm trying to talk?
I would have loved to see her on the vacation series that's coming in November. I would have loved to see her on that. But
yeah, but she burned that bridge.
If she didn't come out the way that she did, and I'm not saying that she shouldn't have, but if she didn't, she would have been on the vacation series. Even if she didn't come back to Atlanta, she would have been on the vacation series.
Yeah, it would have been Kenya and Nene, not Kenya and Cynthia. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's on the own network, Oprah Winfrey Network. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nene. Getting back to it though, at this dinner, what do you think was the most shocking thing that happened?
I mean, again, it's going to be Leah. I mean, I know Ramona was very problematic, but just Leah squawking from the phone was so annoying. Like you, I felt very frustrated, the same way that Ramona felt with Leah being there. If you can't make it, we get it. You can't make it. We're all here trying to interact. We can't pay attention to you and what's going on with your sound. Sorry.
Did you see though when they're all trying to talk and then Ramona keeps on trying to have a moment and finally Sonia cuts her off and she's like, let the blacks and the Jews talk. I was like, And then did you see Ebony's friends? They were just like laughing and saying, I need another margarita. I'm like,
They also said the blacks and the Jews. They repeated what she said. And we were like, okay. Yeah. I think for Sonia, and I noticed this even when we, go back a few episodes when they were talking in the Hamptons and Ebony was bringing up that whole issue of education and things like that. Sonia was bordering on the line of being a little problematic, but she was trying. I was like, "Ooh, Sonia, just pull back a little bit."
Right.
It's very similar to what Heather was doing, but Heather just went way too far.
I agree, but also I'm reading some of the fan comments where people are talking about Ramona in this setting, and a lot of people are also standing up for her because they kind of feel like they agree with Ramona in some sense of why does everything have to be, whether it's black, white, blue, purple, like some people feel that way. And you can see Ramona's wearing it on her face. She's clearly upset with all of this. And she's like, I feel like I'm not being included in this situation or at this point. And Ebony's trying to explain, this has been about you and white people for a long time. This is not about you or white people. This is about the Jewish community and the black community, but Ramona's not getting that. And I've read comments and some people are like, well, I'm glad Ramona said it.
And you know what? It's important because there is a large sector of people that feel like Ramona does, but that's the whole point of Jew Belong. It's uniting these two different groups together. And Ramona, she takes every opportunity to make it about herself when this was a good time for her to listen and learn. And that's exactly what Ebony and her friends were doing. They also are there. They're calling it Black Shabbat because they're coming there to learn about Shabbat. They're coming there to learn a little bit more about something that they're not familiar with. And Ramona didn't get the memo. While everyone's trying to listen and learn, Ramona was trying to make it about her struggle. Girl, you have not struggled.
Yeah, no. And, in this episode, I thought it was kind of interesting because she took every little avenue that she could. She gets up, she throws a hissy fit. She walks away from the table. She's like, nobody's listening to me. And then she walks away. Leah starts calling it out. And then she's like, what, I can't pee? And then not only that, but she's making fun of the woman's tablecloth napkin things, like whatever they were. And they were really big. So
they were pretty big.
I don't design place settings or tablecloth. Listen, I'm not on Below Deck. I don't know how that shit works. Honestly, I would have been the person who said, who was that woman on Watch What Happens Live last night where she said, I usually put out a napkin or a paper towel. Like, that's me too. I'm not on this level, so I didn't even know that you could have one that's too big, but it seemed really big. And Sonia is one to talk because I think on previous episodes we've seen hers, and hers look literally like the size of a bed skirt. And she's like, no, but these are from the Morgan family. Okay, but then you can't criticize Archie's.
I mean, look, everyone hosts very differently. For them to point that particular thing out, I was like, come on, guys. You just reaching for something to complain about? Come on.
Yeah, well, and they really show excuse me, but they really show out. I was going to say something else, but they really just make it a point to make all of the attention on them. They know the cameras are on. They know they're being annoying. They know that it's rude. You walking in and the woman telling you like, oh, the food's going to be coming. This is her. She's hosting this event. Sure, Ebony's hosting it, but this is in her home. These are her caterers. This is her kitchen. Sit down.
She has a beautiful home.
She has a beautiful home. I would be pissed if I were her. And you're like running to the back like, no, I need protein. I need chicken. I can't do a scallion kick. I can't have something fatty. I lost 3 pounds after Thanksgiving. And like, I would just be like, sit down.
In all fairness, this is Ramona. What would we be talking about if Ramona didn't act the way that she acted, to be honest? And then again, I have to bring it back to Leah screaming on the phone just so she can have a moment. I was like, okay, girl, I would have just hung up on her. Even though that was my friend. I was like, girl, this is not working. I
was actually hoping in this moment that that's exactly what she was going to do. I was hoping she was just going to press end and be like, oh, there goes Leah. And then, oh my God. Can I talk about the one wallflower here out of all of this? We heard not a peep really from LUANN. Yeah. Except for asking what she thought was a stupid question. This just goes to show, I feel like she's getting either one, she's scared to talk in, because if you say something wrong, Ebony's going to be all over you. And I think that she's afraid to say something that might come off disrespectful or just naive, ignorant. I think that LUANN is being really careful right now. So we're seeing a different side of her. But with that, she's not bringing the same thing that she used to bring. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. And I saw that early on when they were at Ramona's house and before the big blow up between her and Ebony, where I felt like she was pulling back, like she wanted to say something, but she wasn't saying something. And I think because of what's happened since then, she is pulling back, which is coming across boring to the viewers. It's like, oh, where was LUANN during this? But, she's also the Countess, formerly the Countess. So there's also a decorum she likes to keep when at someone's home.
Okay. You can go hook up with the pirate, fall into a bush, get arrested, get out of your handcuffs, go to rehab, go to jail, and then be like, I'm the Countess, darling. No.
She's still the Countess.
No. She signed that away when she signed up for Tom D'Agostino.
I can't believe she went and lost her title just to be married to that man for a hot second.
Well, I would have been like, I'm not signing away my title unless we don't sign a prenup. That's what I would have said. And I would have also put in that, because she knows that he has a little risque past, I would have been like, you have to also put in that if you do commit infidelity of any kind, I don't care if somebody touches your butt. We're done, and I'm taking you to the bank. Because a lot of states in the United States of America, there are states that are fault states and no fault states. And I believe like Alabama, Tennessee especially, it's so cold in here. Sorry. So I keep like rubbing my face and nose. I don't have a problem, guys. But there are states that, if you're married, it doesn't matter if you're married for a year or 2 years. If you cheat on your spouse, they get everything. Everything. And for LUANN and Tom, I don't know what their agreement was, but she didn't get everything for sure because he's still living in his nice little penthouse looking apartment and he's good.
I wonder, did she have more money than him?
I doubt it.
Really? I don't
think she had a lot of money at all.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that she, honestly, in the Housewives world, and I'm not saying like compared to me and, a lot of other people, sure, she probably has a good amount of wealth, but I think she's probably sitting right at like 2 or 3 million with all of her assets and everything.
But I heard that wasn't that Tom's net worth as well?
Was it?
And he's not part of the whole D'Agostino, super chain family. So I don't recall Tom having a lot of money either. So I think if anything, they sort of at least were close in their net worth.
I would switch teams and just go marry Bethany. That's what I would do. I would switch teams and I would marry the skinny girl. That's what I would do at this point.
I don't think she's ever going to get married again.
Well, she might to the Cameo creator.
Is he the Cameo creator?
Yeah, they're engaged. He's the one who created Cameo.
I'm on Cameo.
Yeah, well.
So I work for him.
You work for Bethany's fiance.
I'm quitting.
Okay. Shade. All right. So now I guess after going over the most shocking situations when it comes to the Black Shabbat dinner and just seeing how Ramona showed out, even watching her on Watch What Happens Live in that dress, and when Andy was talking to her and he's like, do you think you made a mistake and do you apologize for the Black Shabbat dinner? And she's like, I don't remember it. And he's like, you lived it, sweetie. And she's like, I know, but sometimes I just don't remember it, so, and he's like letting her know, yes, you apologize. So go ahead and apologize. She's like, I apologize. Okay. But it's like trying to coach a child. And then going into next week, we see that Ebony, has 3 different contenders who might be potentially her father, right? Yeah. We see that Leah is fighting with her ex, not fighting with her ex, but communicating with her ex over where to send her kid because he doesn't want to send their kid to a high school that has college-like tuition prices, which look at me, I went to public school. It was good.
I'm already bored.
I know. I know. That's what I'm saying. There's not like this season. I really am hoping after watching how Orange County played out in Dallas and Atlanta, they started filming Salt Lake City. I'm hoping, one, that delivers. Beverly Hills is doing okay for us so far. This new season of Orange County better be damn good. And we're hoping that it is. And there's a lot of drama that we're being teased on. And then also New York next year. I understand that they've put Atlanta off because they're trying to make it right and make sure that they get it together and cast appropriately because Drew Sidora fell flat. LaToya Ali fell flat. Cynthia, I love her. Met her in person a couple of times. I think she's great. But on the show, I think we're done. Like, they really need to take their time or else they're going to drive these franchises straight into the ground.
And Andy is not going to have that.
No. This is how he feeds the little bin.
No.
So
he has another new show that he was promoting last night on
it looks
Tock.
so dumb. And I love Andy Cohen, but it just looks so bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying. He's trying to figure out what his next move will be because he sees what's happening to his franchise.
Yeah, fix him. Your next move should be to hire a new production company.
Here's the thing. I was talking about this last night when I went live, talking about some Real Housewives stuff. And I was saying that, Andy was moving away from the idea of Nicki Minaj hosting Potomac's reunion because rumor has it he doesn't want anyone in that seat. I think that's the problem. When you're so busy trying to be the star, you lose sight of what's going to make your franchise better.
Yeah. No. Okay. I mean, that's something to think about, but also, for him, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think it would be fun to have, other people host these reunions. And also for Andy Cohen, he said before, and we've heard a lot of flip-flopping. He's like, I don't have a hand in casting. Well, no, I actually have. I know who's coming and going. And me, the network, the production company, we all sit down together and we talk about it. But then it's like, no, I have nothing to do with it. What are you actually do? Are you the star of the show and also some of the brains behind the scenes, or do you have nothing to do with what's going on behind the scenes, and then you're just the star of Watch What Happens Live and then the host of the reunions?
Did you hear the rumor though? And this is just a rumor. Everything's alleged. What that comes out of my mouth. that NBC Universal has gotten involved in regards to the casting, specifically with the Real Housewives of New York.
Why?
Because, they're taking allegedly the power away from the production companies and Andy because of the ratings were so low.
Yeah, but that could present a whole new problem if they're not used to doing the casting. So then we could just have, that's like if somebody's trying to build this machine and they're getting so close and the machine's almost working, let them finish building the machine and trying to figure out how it works, as opposed to giving it to somebody new and then being like, oh, that's the blueprint, let us try it.
Unless they feel they know better. A lot of these executives feel like they know better.
I think that, what? I'm going to propose an idea. I think we should take some of the former housewives who have really killed it, who have decided not to move forward with being on the show, like Bethany Frankel. And I think you should put her in the director's seat of casting and let her look at these women, see how they test, watch them, watch how they act on film, and then decide whether or not they should come into the show, because the women know better than anyone how this all works and who would be good television and who wouldn't be, especially if they're not on the show anymore. Like she would be non-biased. If Bethany sees this girl who's like kooky and she's like crazy all over the board and says whatever she wants, Bethany might be like, I don't want to film with her, but throw her in with Ramona because she's going to rip her a new one,
But I have to say this, though. Bethany tried to do her own reality show, and it didn't work on HBO Max. So Bethany, although herself as a star is great, when it comes to picking, she also had Leah on her list of housewives for Bravo to look at. She may not know how to cast. Casting really is an art, and we need to leave it to the people that are really good at it. And maybe Bravo and NBC Universal needs to look into new casting people, agencies. There's a ton of them out there.
Okay, we hear you, Kempire. Well, moving forward, I guess if you think about, from what we saw in the trailer, are we looking forward to anything that's coming up on Real Housewives of New York? Like, is there one thing? And by the way, we didn't even mention Sonya's date because that's how bad it was. And when you talk about your body being like a jelly donut that's oozing out jelly on a first, you gross little dirty hamster. Nobody wants to hear that, and that's definitely not going to get you in bed with Sonya. So, Is there anything we're looking forward to?
It's unfortunate because I told so many people before this season started that the Real Housewives of New York is my favorite. It really is. I mean, over the years, it has brought it every single season. So I was actually shocked.
Or it was?
It was.
Okay.
Okay. It was. Yeah, because this season, look, I'm not going to BS you guys. This season was not good. It was not good, but it's not good for some of the reasons people have been saying. It's for a variety of different reasons. And yes, the pandemic had played a part because New York did takes lockdown very serious in comparison to other states. Every state wasn't on lockdown,
right?
So there was a very different approach here in New York. So they were limited on what they could do. Taking that into account, this is also one of the rare cities that doesn't have an actual housewife. You know what I mean? And there was, like Jill said, no male energy. I definitely think it's worth, Bravo and NBC really trying to put all of their energy in revamping it. And it does need a cast shakeup. It does. You can't blame everything on the pandemic. We watched these ladies and they weren't fully entertaining.
Would you be happy if we kept all of the women that's on the cast now, except for Leah, brought in Dorinda, and then 2 more kind of like dynamite personalities?
That sounds perfect, as long as they're housewives.
And could you imagine if the women had, like, if they brought on 2 new personalities and both of them had really, really hot, like, business type men husbands, like, who just, they know how to talk, they look the part, they look like one of
and they
the
should both live in Brooklyn.
I think that would be hilarious because that the women would be so disrespectful and flirtatious with whoever this woman would be's husband. That would be funny.
And look, it's 2021. Brooklyn is the new Manhattan. There are plenty of people with lots of money, housewives with lots of money that are living in Brooklyn.
But we had Alex and Simon, and they didn't really do great. So
remember, that was a different time. Brooklyn is so different now in comparison to that time with Alex.
Okay.
And Alex is left. She's in Australia now.
Have you, and I know this is a little bit off topic, have you seen The Unorthodox Life?
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. Guys,
it's
that's a reality show that you guys should watch. It's on Netflix. I think it's called My Unorthodox Life.
Yeah, I think.
My Unorthodox Life. It's really freaking good. You have to watch it. And it's kind of Netflix with their reality shows. They're blowing Bravo out of the water right now. So that's another thing to think about. And
people getting rid of cable. I think that's also another thing that we have to consider. People are getting rid of cable.
Yeah, this is okay. And maybe, hopefully Peacock brings it too. I want to see what the Miami Housewives have to offer. I think that'll be good. Next weekend, Jason and I are going down to hang out with Dana Wilkie in Miami. Ooh. So we're going to go spend some time with Dana. I think we might see Fallon. I'm not quite sure. And Caroline Stanbury from Ladies of London.
Oh, I love Caroline. That's my Taurus sister.
I love Caroline too. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, except I don't think I'll be even remotely as bougie. So I don't know how should like, I can't, I'd be like, I can't sit at the table with you. I don't deserve to. I don't.
Wait, sidebar. We can't just brush over this. Fallon has Fallon exited Atlanta and living in Miami?
No, she lives in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because rumor on the street is that, she hightailed it out of Atlanta. That was a rumor.
No, she still lives in Atlanta. I don't know. I mean, maybe in the future. I know she really loves Miami, so she could, and I wouldn't be surprised. Miami's beautiful. And also, isn't Atlanta expensive?
Not really. I mean, it's expensive, but not in comparison to Miami.
Yeah, that's true. And she stays at like the really bougie hotels, and she stays in the net. Like I feel that's the thing. Is like I know a lot of people who they'll come visit, or I've gone to visit places with Jason, and even when we just went to Salt Lake City with his family, his sister's boyfriend was like, I could live here. I'm like, you've been here for 2 days. You don't know shit about this place. You've never been here. So
it's different when you live there.
Yeah, I think it's different when you live there. And it's when you're on vacation and you're in that mode, then it's exciting. It's fun. You like to go out to, dinner and it's woo. And then when you go back home, you're like, this is depressing.
Yeah, like an everyday thing. It's different, and that's why it's good to spend time, like everyday time in a place before deciding like I'm going to move there.
Yeah, I agree. And Veggie Queen said, Caroline seems so snobby. Let us know, Adam.
Oh yeah, she is snobby. That's why we like her.
Yeah, I'm letting you know right now. I haven't met her yet, and I feel like no, she's not snobby.
I mean, she has an air of snobbiness. I don't know if she's necessarily snobby, but she has an air of snobbiness. But I enjoy her. I really on TV.
Yeah, I really enjoy her too. And every time that I reach out, or if I try to ask a question about anything, she's very personable and quick to answer, and I appreciate that because I've known a lot of snobby housewives.
Oh, can you name some?
I cannot.
Oh man.
and they won't give you the time of day. So,
Yeah.
and for
Nene? Look, Nene.
actually, Nene hated me. Didn't I tell you this?
No.
Oh my gosh, I didn't tell you this.
Look, I'm ready.
Okay, let me tell you a story really quick, guys. For whoever's in the room, go ahead, smash that like button. Let's see if we can get to 500. I'm going to give you my Nene story really quick. Okay. Jason was working at Pump Restaurant as a manager, and he called me. I was working somewhere else. I think I was working in a nightclub or something. I had the day off. He called me and said, you have to come here. Cynthia Bailey's here, and she's sitting down with our friend. And I said, what? Okay. And then he's like, just come. I want to introduce you. He said, she's really nice. So I go there, and I go to meet her. I say, hi, just shake her hand, whatever. I look like such a fan. And then she said, well, sit down. What are you doing? You want to sit down and have a glass of wine? I said, sure. So we have a couple glasses of wine. And then after, she said, we're going next door to the Abbey, which is like the biggest gay bar in the United States. So we end up going next door to the Abbey, and everybody's like flocking Cynthia because everybody in West Hollywood, they're all huge Bravo fans. And we're just having fun dancing. I can't dance. I look like Sonia Morgan trying to dance, so it's not cute. And I was just drinking my drink, but we had a lot of drinks that night. After, she said, hey, I just got a call from Nene, and Nene and Marlo, they were at the Mariah Carey concert. And so they're going to the after party. It's at somewhere called Mastro's Steakhouse in Beverly Hills. I'm like, okay. And she's like, do you want to come? And I was like, me? And she said, yes.
Yeah.
So she invited me to Mastro's Steakhouse. So, okay, there's more drinks in the Uber.
Oh.
We get to Mastro's Steakhouse. We walk up. I swear to God, Jason can confirm my story. The funnest, most crazy night of my life. We walk up. We sit at this circle table. There's Nene. There's Marlo. There's a couple other people. Tyler Perry was in the building. Like there were a lot of people at this after party, and we're sitting there and we're talking. And I look at Nene and I was like, oh my God, like you're one of my favorite housewives. And she just kind of snubbed me off. And then I said, I tried to relate. I was like, I work for another housewife in Beverly Hills. And we all know who that is. And she goes, I don't like her. Oh. And I was like, and then she said something about her taking her, like whatever. So she went on this whole like tangent about how she didn't like her. I was like, oh, I didn't know. And she's like, okay, but she's like, boy, bye. And just like brushed me off. Cynthia thought it was so rude and asked her to apologize. I was like, you don't have to apologize to me. It's fine. And I said, can we just at least take a photo? She took a photo with me. Okay. And then Marlo was sitting next to me and she's like, she's just so stubborn sometimes. She's mean as hell. And then Mariah Carey comes over to talk to Nene. So they're talking. Up. No, I'm sitting next to Marlo. Cynthia's on the other side of me. Nene's right here. And Mariah Carey comes up and she's like, has her hands on her and she's just talking to her like they're friends. And Marlo gets up and walks away. So Mariah Carey sits down in the chair next to me to talk to Nene, and they're talking back and forth. And Jason was on his way because Cynthia said, when you get off work, you have to come join us. Again, so many drinks. And I'm sitting there and I somehow get in the conversation and hit it off really well. I feel like you can't write this shit. Jason walks in, and when he tried to get into the building, because we were at the penthouse part of the steakhouse, they asked Jason, do you have a name? And he said, Cynthia Bailey. They said, no, that name doesn't work. Do you have another name?
Oh.
Jason's like, who are you there with? And I was like, Nene, this, whatever. He said, Nene Leakes. They said, okay. So they let him come up the elevator. Jason walks in and we're sitting at the circle table and I see him and I was like, Jason, you can sit right here. Meet my friend Mariah. And she's like, hi. And just like waved at him. And Mariah was the first CD album that Jason ever bought. And he was just looking like, what the actual. And I was like, yeah, this is my friend Mariah, just like talking. And he's like, I can't fucking believe that you're sitting there right now. And that was my crazy story from that night. And then I called my mom and I was so excited. And I was like, Mom, I have to get back to the party because I was having a fangirl moment. And then I saw Mariah getting in the glass elevator going down. And I saw the TMZ video the next morning of this. It was when she was a little bit heavier. And the paparazzi were screaming at her. They're like, Mariah, what did you have for dinner? 2 steaks? You look like you had 2 steaks.
Oh, hell no.
And
disrespect.
Oh, so disrespectful. And when she tried to get into when she went to go get in the elevator, I'm just following behind her like I'm her best friend. And then security stops me. And so I go take the stairs, run down the stairs. And as she's walking out in the TMZ video, she's walking out and you see me walking out right behind her, like with all the paparazzi hitting the cameras and everything. And I just thought I was like, I'm with I'm with Mariah, you know? And
Oh
now
my
looking back, I'm like, God, you were so stupid in 23. I think it was 23 or 24, but so stupid.
But that is an epic night. That story was so much better than this last episode of The Real Housewives of New York.
Oh my gosh. It was literally, it was one of the craziest nights. And I would like to say that I'll never forget it, but I think I forgot it before it even ended because the drinks were flowing. So what did I learn, Adam? Don't get too smashed when you go to an event. But also I didn't know I was going to an event. So that's
the story you tell about Nene is a story that's been told many times by fans that allegedly have interacted with her. So
yeah, I mean, I was excited to meet her and I thought that she'd be super nice and very welcoming. I'm sure that's not everybody's experience with her. And also, you know, she was not drinking or anything and everybody had already been drinking all night. So I'm pretty sure that the whole group was annoying by the time we walked in. So that could have played into it. So I don't want to just throw all the blame on Nene. However, was she nice and welcoming to me? No.
I think you had tea before it was even revealed, that whole issue she had with the other housewife about that property situation. So you knew the story before she came out publicly with it.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah. And I remember actually talking about it with Jason. And I was like, I'm going to bring it up to so-and-so. And Jason's like, do not do that. And because at the point, you know, before I left, I was in, you know, when I first started my job, I was Austin, Alex, Aaron, every name in the book except Adam. And then when Jason started, you know, he had this bond with her and she loved Jason. And, you know, from that, I just somehow, I don't know if I got like a certain level of respect. I don't want to say respect because there's no reason for her to really respect me, I guess, because I was just an employee. But, you know, it was just this different, I see you, you know, like, hi, Adam. And very like it was just a very different relationship, and I like grew to really love her. Like thought she was amazing.
I'm looking forward to that interview that you do with her.
That'll never happen.
Why not? Because you just said it. No, it's going to happen, and I look forward to that interview because there is already a kinship. So I think she will feel comfortable, and those are the best interviews.
Well, I would have had your best for that one, but
put it on your vision board.
But okay, Campfire, we can dream. We can dream. With that, guys, everybody in the room, we did make it to 5. We made it to 560. Go ahead, smash that like button on your way out. Also, I included a link in here for anybody who's interested. We did launch our new merch today. It's only going to be up for 10 days. It's our Halloween merch for New York. I made it nice. On the back, it says Happy Halloween. On the front, it's just fun, kitschy. We have it in women's apparel, men's apparel, kids apparel, hoodies, sweaters, t-shirts, tank tops, whatever you want. So the description of this video has the link in it. You guys can check it out. And also Amy Morelli, who's a great graphic designer. I attached her website so you can check out her work if you want to book her for anything. Yeah. And with that, I always like to end off with a monologue since I take so much time throwing Kempire under the bus. I at least owe this to him. So Kempire.
But just a reminder to everyone, I know people think Halloween's not right around the corner, but it really is. So get your merch now before it runs out.
No, and seriously, if you buy it within the next 10 days before the campaign ends, it says that it'll be delivered to you by September 10th. So at that point, you're really right around the corner because you can start wearing Halloween. I mean, TJ Maxx has shit in there already, okay? They have Halloween and Christmas shit. So give me a break.
I'm ready for the candy corn.
Ooh. I'm ready for the peeps. Is that Easter or is that Halloween has peeps?
I guess, but it's really for Easter.
Okay, well, I'm not going to discriminate against which holiday. I think Halloween peeps are just fine.
Okay.
All right, monologue.
Guys, follow me on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more every single day. And I'm trying to build up my Kempire Daily TikTok. Like the Kempire has been banned for a couple of days. I have a hater, Adam. So follow me on the Kempire Daily TikTok.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
On the Kempire Daily, well, on the Kempire, I have over 772,000.
Is it easy to get followers on TikTok? Or is it hard?
Definitely easier, I put in quotes, than other platforms because it was a newer platform. But I've been building that up for over a year.
Oh, so you put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, and to be banned for a couple of days is annoying.
Love the face on it. Listen, I also too on this beautiful platform called YouTube. Like I said, every time I start a video, before it even starts, And as soon as I upload it, I always have one dislike. So I have one hater as well. But I also see you. Okay. Very on brand for Nini. I know exactly who you are, and that's fine. You won't get any time of day from me. All right. And I also see that I missed a super chat in here. So Angelique, I needed an entire show of just Adam and Jason interactions with celebs.
But you already know my business idea with that, right? Did I tell you? Sometimes I think I told you something and I don't remember if I did.
No.
I think, you know, we've talked about backup channels before. I think that you, and I know Jason doesn't have the time. He's very busy. You guys should create your own channel where it's really just about relationships, vlogging, things like that. That's huge on YouTube. And it's a great place to put other content like those types of stories.
See, but I always feel like by me coming on and doing videos with Jason, I always put myself in the line of fire with everybody because everyone doesn't understand our banter and they just think I'm an asshole when it comes to my relationship with Jason. So I do a lot of defending myself. And then if Jason and I, like the other day when he's like, it's your turn to walk the dog. So I was like, no, I walked him twice. It's your turn. They only get walked 3 times a day. And he's like, you know what? Honestly, what everybody's saying about you on YouTube is right. And I'm like,
you gave him that ammunition though. Look, here's the thing. There are going to be people that don't like what you do, but there's an audience for everything and everyone. Do it. Don't allow other people's criticisms to stop you from doing something that you're going to have fun with. I understood your banter with Jason before I even really knew you guys. So there will be people that understand and that appreciate it. And you saw it from your Q&A on Instagram. People want to see more of you and Jason. People want to see a healthy gay relationship on YouTube. So let's do it.
Okay. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Well, if everything closes down in this pandemic again, I don't know how many yachts Jason's going to be pushing. So if he has extra time, then I'm sure I can steal him on here. But then it's also another thing. You know what? Actually, I don't know. Because then Jason's like, you're always trying to make it on your time. And maybe I don't want to do it when I first wake up. Maybe I'm tired. And then I'm like, okay, let's do it at 5 o'clock at night. No, I don't want to do it at 5. Maybe I want to do it at 6. Then let's do it at 6. Why are you trying to pressure me and put me in a box of a certain time and make me commit? Because I need it to be organized. Okay, well, then it's all about what you want, Adam. I'm like,
even that banter back and forth should be recorded because that's content too. That's everyday life.
Can you imagine I just walk around with a bodysuit that has a GoPro like this and I'm like, hey, Jason, how are you doing? He's like,
not well, bitch.
Yeah, not well, bitch. I'll tell you how I'm doing. That's great. Thanks. Love you. Have a good day. Bye. And he's like, okay. All right, guys, I know that I went a little bit off the rails a little bit, but here we go. Submit questions to Kempire. What is IMHO?
I don't know.
In my honest opinion.
And why are you submitting questions to me?
My favorite was that quiz. What quiz?
Oh, when you guys did that collaboration together.
Okay. Kempire, I will continue to thumbs down anything to do with Kim's recent spiritual awakening, not personal.
Oh, I understood. No worries.
Okay. Thank you, Tara, and all together, we appreciate you. All right. Now with that, we're officially signing off. Kempire, monologue, please.
I already gave you the monologue. Follow me on Kempire Daily, y'all. Everything Kempire Daily, everything the Kempire. Thank you, Adam, for always allowing me on your platform. I appreciate you so much.
Of course. And also, Kempire, his channel is listed in the description of the video alongside the merch. So go check him out. Thank you guys so much. And we have a couple other videos that we will be dropping today. See you guys next time. And next Thursday, don't forget, Kempire invited me to join him on his channel. I don't know what time yet. I'm sure he'll let you guys know. We will be talking Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
It's going to be juicy.
All right. Bye, Kempire. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye, guys. Bye. Go check out the merch.